Picture this. A slacker comedy that flopped hard at the theaters but exploded into a beloved cult classic, redefining what it means to be effortlessly cool in cinema. That's the wild ride of The Big Lebowski, and if you've ever wondered how it went from box office dud to eternal favorite, buckle up. We're diving deep into its story. The Big Lebowski stands out as a true gem from the 1990s, blending sharp crime intrigue, laugh-out-loud humor, everyday life vibes, and a twisty puzzle that's pure Coen Brothers magic. For those new to their work, the Coen Brothers, Joel and Ethan, are master storytellers known for mixing quirky characters with dark, unpredictable plots, and this film is a prime example. At the heart of it all is the dude, Jeff Lebowski, a character so endlessly quotable and meme-worthy that he's become a pop culture icon. You've probably heard lines like, "the dude abides," tossed around at parties, or seen folks imitating his chill demeanor. But here's a fun twist you might not have caught. This bathrobe-wearing, white Russian-sipping legend draws from actual people in real life. Not just one, but a blend of inspirations that made him feel authentically human and hilariously relatable. In this deep dive, we'll explore the behind-the-scenes magic of this beloved flick, unpack its creation process, and tackle the burning question, what on earth happened to The Big Lebowski? Sponsored content. Hitting screens in 1998, The Big Lebowski tracks the laid-back adventures of Jeff the Dude Lebowski, a Los Angeles bowler who's perfectly content without a 9-to-5 job, a strict grooming routine, or any fitness goals. His routine? Chilling with joints and knocking down pins with his pals. Sounds like the ultimate dream for anyone burnt out on the daily grind, right? Trouble brews when the dude is confused for another Jeff Lebowski, a wealthy bigwig with a mansion, the personal servant, and Julianne Moore as his trophy wife. Wait, actually Tara Reid in the film. But you get the picture of high society glamour. Suddenly, our easygoing hero tumbles into a whirlwind of schemes, including fake kidnappings, eccentric German nihilists who spout philosophy mid-confrontation, and enough twists to rival a classic whodunit. For beginners, nihilism here isn't just deep philosophy. It's these bizarre antagonists who believe nothing matters, adding absurd comedy to the chaos. No debate needed. This cast is perfection personified, and we'll circle back to why soon. But the real spark ignites with directors Joel and Ethan Coen, the sibling duo behind cinematic treasures like Raising Arizona, a zany kidnapping tale, Barton Fink, a writer's nightmare in Hollywood, Fargo, icy crime with folksy charm, and No Country for Old Men, a tense chase through moral gray areas, among many others that showcase their signature style of blending humor with tension. The Coens typically craft their own scripts, and back in 1991, amid shooting Barton Fink, they began brainstorming a fresh project, drawing from Raymond Chandler, the legendary crime novelist famous for hard-boiled detectives like Philip Marlowe in stories set in seedy Los Angeles. They aimed to explore clashing social worlds and hidden agendas, but updated for modern times with a slacker twist. To clarify for newcomers, Chandler's tales often featured gritty PIs navigating corruption, and the Coens flipped that into a comedy where the detective is anything but professional. Ethan Coen nailed it when he described their goal, a tale of an unlikely everyman diving into a profound, layered quest that's ultimately pointless. That captures the film's genius, a sprawling adventure that pokes fun at its own epic scale. And here's where it gets controversial. Some critics argue this unimportant plot makes the movie shallow, but isn't that the point? It celebrates life's absurd detours over forced heroism. For the lead, the Coens insisted on a protagonist who's endearing yet flawed, a bit of a sad sack, perpetually bewildered, yet utterly unfazed by the madness swirling around him. This mix of vulnerability and zen-like calm is what makes the dude stick with you. And yes, I wasn't exaggerating. The dude springs from real-life figures. Jeff Bridges' portrayal is largely modeled after Jeff Dowd, a Seattle-based film producer from the counterculture era. Think 1960s activism vibes. Friends called him the dude, and he was infamous for his love of White Russians. That creamy cocktail of vodka, coffee liqueur, and cream, that's become synonymous with the character. But Dowd wasn't exactly a robe-clad hermit. He was more the free-spirited networker in the industry. Enter Peter Exline, the other key muse. The Coens crossed paths with him during film school, and he embodied the slovenly side. Living in a run-down bungalow with a prized Persian rug that, as he put it, really tied the room together. Those exact words made it straight into the script. Exline's tales of his messy life and love for casual sports inspired the bowling focus. He played in a local softball league, but the Coens swapped it for bowling, seeing it as an ideal, chatty group activity that fosters the film's witty banter. Imagine pins crashing as characters spill secrets. It's a perfect setup for dialogue-driven comedy. Everything seemed primed for success, a compelling lead concept, the brothers' hot streak from past hits, and buzz from potential actors. Yet, as the script took shape, they hit a wall around page 40, the ideas drying up like a bad bowling roll. So they paused and pivoted to Fargo, which became a massive hit, and deservedly so, with its sharp satire on Midwestern crime. Buoyed by that triumph, and the cash it brought, they revisited The Big Lebowski, polished the screenplay, and secured quick approval from Polygram and Working Title Films, still riding high on Fargo's profits. For context, greenlighting means studios say yes to funding, and this one was a no-brainer after their track record. With the script locked, casting kicked off, starting with the stellar supporting crew that elevates every scene. John Goodman was the undisputed pick for Walter Sobchak, the dude's volatile Vietnam vet buddy grappling with PTSD. Think, explosive rants over minor things like toe injuries. No alternatives were even considered. Goodman's booming presence and comedic timing made it his role from the start. Steve Buscemi slotted perfectly as Donnie, the sweet, clueless third wheel in their trio. The Coens penned it specifically for him, using his wide-eyed innocence to bounce off the crazier antics. A classic straight man in comedy. John Turturro steals the spotlight as Jesus Quintana, the flamboyant, trash-talking bowler rival with a gold lame jumpsuit and unforgettable strut. Fresh off Barton Fink, he was a shoo-in. Fun expansion. Jesus even spun off into his own movie, The Jesus Rolls, 2020. A road trip crime caper that's more dramatic but nods to the original's eccentricity, though it flew under the radar for many fans. Rounding out the ensemble, Tara Reid as the bubbly trophy wife, Julianne Moore as the artsy ex, Philip Seymour Hoffman as the snarky butler, and David Huddleston as the millionaire Lebowski. Interestingly, that bigwig part bounced around. First to Anthony Hopkins, who passed on an American accent, then Jack Nicholson, who quipped he'd only do it as Moses. Classic Jack. And Gene Hackman, enjoying a sabbatical from films. Whew, dodged some bullets there. Huddleston's gruff authority fits like a glove. Now, for the dude himself. Jeff Bridges wasn't plan A. The Coens first approached Mel Gibson, but he brushed it off as too silly. Bridges got the call next and paused, concerned it might not be the best role model for his young girls at home. Luckily, one daughter, a huge Coen Brothers enthusiast, urged him to at least chat with them. After poring over the script and geeking out with the directors, he was hooked. He jumped in, and cinema history was made. No official word on Bridges toking up on set, but one can dream. It would have matched the vibe. Bonus detail. Much of the dude's rumpled outfits were pulled from Bridges' personal wardrobe, adding authenticity. He even hung out with Jeff Dowd to study the real slouch, that signature amble, and the comfy paunch. Bridges has shared that the dude mirrors his own relaxed side more than any other role, though he insists he's a tad more disciplined and imaginative in reality. Visually, the Coens evoked a nostalgic glow of 1960s and 70s LA. Think vibrant retro bowling alleys, soft pastel hues, and a soundtrack packed with air. Cinematographer Roger Deakins, a Coen regular, known for epic visuals in films like Blade Runner 2049, aimed for a realistic, everyday feel to ground the story, making the over-the-top dream sequence pop even more. And that sequence, with its gutterballs march and psychedelic flair, it's like a fever dream music video synced to just dropped in. Arguably one of the most inventive bits in 90s cinema, blending surrealism with humor in a way that's influenced countless parodies. Production wrapped in roughly 3 months, with a full month at Hollywood Star Lanes for all the bowling action. Save the dream bit. filmed in a repurposed hangar for those wild effects. Everyone raves about the set's joyful, improvisational energy. That camaraderie shines through in the on-screen bonds, the unhurried rhythm, and the natural laughs that feel improvised yet scripted to perfection. Here's where it gets controversial. Despite the hype as a Fargo sequel of sorts, the 1998 release tanked financially, pulling in just $19.5 million globally. It eked out a profit technically, but after marketing eats, it was a wash. What felt like a slam dunk fizzled amid bigger releases, fading into the background initially. And this is the part most people miss. Was the studio's push too tame for such a weird gem? Or did audiences just not get the irony back then? Enter the home video revolution. On VHS and DVD, the Big Lebowski ignited like wildfire. Fans snapped it up, passed copies around, and quoted it endlessly. What started as a sleeper built into a fervent cult empire, joining ranks with other box office flops turned legends like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Today, it's retroactively seen as an instant classic, though truth be told, in '98, it was the underdog no one saw coming. From a rug-obsessed slacker nosing his drinks to unraveling a conspiracy straight out of a noir thriller, and even sparking a real surge in bowling league signups come 1999. The Dude's saga is the ultimate underachiever's triumph. So, that's the scoop on what the heck happened to the Big Lebowski. But tell me, do you think its initial flop proves studios undervalue originality, or was it just ahead of its time? And would you have cast Bridges right away, or does Gibson's intensity sound intriguing in hindsight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate if this film's chill philosophy still holds up in our hectic world.